May I come in, sir? Morning, ma'am. Morning, sir. Morning, sir. Yes.
Rishendra,
Sir.
please have your seat. Rishendra,
Sir.
a very unique name.
Sir.
What does it mean?
Sir, it has been derived from two words, Rishi and Indra. Sir, eventually it means someone who has control over his senses. Sir, it has been derived from the holy saint Vishwamitra. Sir, he was called king of sages.
But Vishwamitra also could not control his senses, it is said.
Sir, it was attributed to him because he was a king and he renounced his kingship and then he attributed his name to sage. I think so. The penance he gave.
But story of Menka,
Sir, I'm not aware of that story.
Vishwamitra and Menka. Anyway, why you want to be in civil services?
So the primary motive is because the civil services has been a service that has very diversified nature, and sir, I have some interest which I want to inculcate in my future career prospects, such as sports. I want to contribute in it a lot. Then sir, towards academics and health sector. So these are the three sectors which I want to contribute, and sir, because of that, I have tried to get into it.
You want to contribute to academics,
Health and sports.
and sports.
Yes.
Okay. Otherwise, you would have only been able to contribute in one sector.
Yes, sir, that
So
was.
you thought of policy making.
Sir.
Well framed answer. You want your choice, second choice is police.
Sir.
First is AS and third is foreign service.
Sir.
So do you have some real interest in these fields? Or it is just a sort of customary arrangement that we are having ritual that 1, 2, 3 these services?
Sir, I think I did it because there was a preference allotted by the UPSC. But sir, I will definitely look more about the services. I know more about IS as a service, but not more about the others that are there.
What will be the duties of a district collector?
So the primary duty that comes to my mind, sir, is the maintenance of law and order. So then the policy implementation. Then we also need to suggest various policy frameworks by collecting inputs from the ground sector by various subordinate officers that we have, sir. Collaboration and then leadership skills are also required, sir, in this particular.
You have been inspired by some ideas?
Sir, when I was small, sir, my father used to work in a health sector. And sir, I cannot recall the name, but sir,
Small or young? What do you want to
when
say?
I was young, sir, during that time, my father worked in a hospital, and there was an IS who used to do this undercover services by involving in checking in the health sector what are the issues that are there, sir. So by that, I was pretty much inspired when my father used to tell it about.
IAS and undercover services?
Sir, he used to do a lot, sir, in the Unnao district in 2012 and 2013.
Okay, what type of undercover services?
Sir, he used to go and because sir, he was not much active in the public, and sir, because of that reason, he used to go and check what are the issues that are there. He used to undercover as a patient, sir. He used to go and check how the patients are being treated, and so then subsequent actions were taken about that.
This St. Lawrence School, your schooling has been from Unnao or
Sir,
Delhi?
so Unnao.
Unnao. And then for graduation, you moved to Delhi.
Sir.
So was it already planned that you will be going for civil services?
Sir, it was
What
not
was the
planned.
reason for coming to Delhi?
Sir, it was primarily because of the graduation. Sir, I dropped 1 year for studying for IIT services. IIT as a Indian Institute of Technology for BTech. But sir, I could not get into it. Sir, the second option was for me was to cater to the mathematics, sir, as I was pretty much interested in that. So I chose Delhi University. And sir, while I was in the university, sir, during that time,
You applied for an IIT or not?
Sir, I got NIT Bhopal, and there itself, sir, I was being preferred in an integrated course where 5-year BSc and mathematics, BSc and MSc was given, sir.
BTech was, they were not?
BTech, sir, I got that with spot round, the last one. Marks was not good, that's why. Sir, I would beg to differ in this statement, sir. Sir, the challenges that we had during the past, sir, they are multifold challenges. Sir, every regime had its different sets of challenges. Sir, coming to the point that we have a lot amount of investment going on in Uttar Pradesh, sir, it might be because primarily we have improved in the law and order situation a lot, sir. And recently also the NCRB.
You want to say earlier chief ministers failed in achieving that?
No, sir, I would not like to say that. So because earlier the challenges were many and there were different sectors also which we needed to cater. Sir, because of that, the policy making was directed towards a direction where holistically we wanted to include everybody. But now, sir, we have come towards this zero tolerance policy where everything is very strict. The prime focus is to reduce the law and order, increase the law
Do you
and order.
think that in Uttar Pradesh government is really secular?
Sir, I would say that. So secularism is a basic structure of the doctrine. Basic structure
Chief
doctrine.
Minister wearing a saffron attire?
Sir, we have in Article 25 of the fundamental rights, everybody has the right to profess, practice and
But
propagate.
when you are in a public office and everyone is watching you, how do you instill confidence in everyone?
Sir, I think inclusive development has been done in a lot of sphere. Sir, even minorities, sir, we have a lot of schemes in our UP as well, sir, to cater scholarship to minorities. And I think, sir, there are some issues that no doubt about it, sir. The issue that we have about this some issues are there, so which we are tackling it efficiently, sir, in it also.
Michelle,
Sir.
your interview is on 19th. Huh?
Sir.
Okay. Tell me one thing. What is your opinion about having a Ram temple like this in such a huge scale?
Sir, I see it as a developmental and infrastructural push to the Ayodhya. Sir, it is acting as a growth pole for UP as a whole. Sir, we have targeted that we would achieve 1 trillion economy by 2027 in
So
UP.
in every city we should have big size temples?
Sir, temples, sir, as such, I do not think would create that aura. But sir, the thing is that every city, every state should focus on that activity which is popular in there. Sir, by catering towards the temples, sir, there are various infrastructural push that we are doing. So we are creating airports, we are creating infrastructure such as roads, and also, sir, numerous hotels and restaurants, the 5-star hotels and restaurants have been coming up in Ayodhya. So I think that is one such reason why the push has been given to the temple.
So for this reason, you are suggesting. How about Mathura and Kashi?
So this is one issue. The religious bipartisanship that is going on, sir. But so the rule of law should prevail in this case, sir. The Places of Worship Act says Places of Worship Act of 1991 says that there is a section where if some issues arise, there can be a certain push by the relevant authorities. Sir, although the prime motive was to reduce this religious hooliganism that is having, but sir, there are certain provisions in it which caters to this.
Acts can be amended.
Sorry, sir?
But acts can be amended.
Yes, sir, definitely, sir.
So new acts. Do you think it should be judiciary and rule of law, that what you said earlier, or Place of Worship Act? What should prevail?
So the constitution should prevail. Primarily, the fundamental ideologies that are there, sir, that should be followed whether in judiciary or in executive part, sir.
Last few questions from you. In Uttar Pradesh, in regard to status of women,
Sir.
what is your take?
Sir, recently the NCRB data has come up, and sir, it has propounded that the amount of registration of cases has increased significantly. And sir, this is because of the government schemes such as Mission Shakti. And sir, we also have this scheme called Ghanti Bajao campaign, sir, which is being implemented in buses, in the state government buses that are there. Sir, then we have also the Sakhis, which try to empower women that are there and train them in their self-defense. Sir, also there is this.
I'm not asking about only crime.
Sir.
I'm saying general status of women.
Sir, it is improving to a larger extent. Employment scenarios have been also increasing. And sir, the contribution, sir, yes, it is less, but sir, we are working towards it, sir.
The status of education of women?
Sir, it is also increasing. The participation in the senior secondary level has increased to a larger extent.
The rural-urban divide?
Sir, there is.
In terms of especially sex ratio?
So sex ratio is one such aspect where we need to work. Sir, we have about 912 sex ratio, females to males. So that needs to be improved. And sir, these schemes that they are bringing up, sir, I think it will help to a larger, sir. He is working very well because the law and order situation has been improved to a larger extent. And there is also a focus towards inclusive development also, sir.
Fine.
Thank you, sir.
Rishendra,
Sir.
in the question by the Honorable Chair, you told that your name means control over your senses.
Yes, sir.
So how is it that you are able to control your senses? What is the means that you adopt for achieving that aim?
Sir, earlier I realized that, so the name Sir, it does mean, sir, earlier I also realized that I had a little bit more on the emotional side. To change that, I started practicing meditation. So there is this yoga called Bhastrika. So that I do continuously every day. So I think that has helped a lot in achieving emotional control, sir.
So if we talk about the control over the senses, which is the Indian school of philosophy which talks specifically about this?
Sir, I think it is Charvak philosophy, which which says that it is the senses and we should flow as our senses say. Sir, as per I can recall right now.
Okay. My question is, which Indian school of philosophy talks about the methods to control the senses?
Sorry, sir, I would have to look into it.
Okay, you already answered that when you told that you were doing Bhastrika Yoga. Yoga is the school of philosophy.
Sorry, sir.
You've been an active sports person.
Sir.
Football is one of the games you played.
Sir.
If I were to ask you about the history of Indian football,
Sir.
when was the Olympic Games in which Indian football team performed its best till date?
Sir, I would have to look into it, sir. I have not looked much into it.
You're playing basketball also?
Sir, casually in school I did play, sir.
So what position do you play in?
Sir, I am not able to recall the exact position, but sir, there was what we call in basketball defending, sir. Simply that I used to play in basketball.
Okay. Are you aware who won the NBA championship? This just concluded in year 2023?
Sorry, sir. That thing I did in school just for participation.
Even the 400 meter just for the participation?
So athletics, sir, I am pretty much interested in, sir.
So if I were to ask you who is the fastest Indian sprinter in 100 meters, what would be the answer?
Sorry, sir, I'm not able to recall right now. I did read about it. The name I could not recall right now.
Fastest in the world, second fastest in the world?
Second fastest?
Yes. First, everyone of
Sir,
us.
currently or historically? Sir, historically the fastest was Usain Bolt.
Second fastest.
Second was, sir, Johan Blake of USA, I suppose.
USA.
Yes, sir.
Is he not from the same country? If you remember, they wear the same yellow jersey.
So not able to recall exactly.
You told your father is a chief pharmacist.
Sir.
There was an issue with respect to certain drugs of ours in countries like Gambia.
Sir.
Can you elaborate on that?
So there was this cough syrup that was given in Gambia and also in Uzbekistan. And sir, a lot of mishappenings such as deaths of children happened because of ethyl alcohol being used in those syrups, sir. I think that was the big issue.
Okay. So what is the method that goes into this regulation of the drugs in India? Can you highlight that?
So there is this body called National Pharmaceutical Corporation. Sir, I'm not able to recall the exact initials.
Any legislation that you would like to mention in this, which deals with the regulation or the control of drugs?
Sir, it is Pharmaceutical Acts, but I'm not able to recall the exact year, sir.
You've given the SSB also.
Sir.
So if I were to ask you what is the Chetwood Credo, would you be able to answer me?
Sorry, sir?
Chetwood Credo.
I'm sorry.
You heard of that?
No, sir.
When did you give the SSB?
Sir, I gave in 2016 for NDA, so twice. Then and in 2021 I gave for CDS, sir.
Okay. So what were the learnings that you derived from it?
So the discipline, sir, that, sir, pretty much got me in awe, sir. The discipline that army personnel are in, sir, that has inspired me a lot.
Okay. Any specific learning that you would like to take forward in the civil services?
Sir, this one only, sir, discipline.
Other than discipline?
Sir, other than that, the organizational structure, sir, that is there in army, sir, I think I would like to inculcate in civil services also.
So what do you think went wrong in these SSBs? Why were you not selected?
Sir, firstly, I was pretty fresh in 2016 and I was not aware about what should be the requirement, and I was also a lot of homesick, sir. During 2016, I wanted to go home as soon as possible, so that was a big issue. Sir, in 2021, that was being given because sir, I wanted to prepare for UPSC civil services, and CDS was one such exam that UPSC conducts, so that's why, sir, I decided to give it, sir.
One final question for you, Rishendra.
Sir.
What's your take on the judgment given by the Honorable Supreme Court in the same-sex marriage issue?
Sir, the judgment given by the Honorable Supreme Court is that the same-sex marriage should not be currently done in the Indian society. Sir, my opinion is that, sir, everybody has a right to equality. And sir, slowly and steadily we will reach in those circumstances where same-sex marriage will sooner or later will be acceptable in the Indian society.
But are you not thinking that it is a violation of Article 21 of those people?
Sir, Supreme Court, the dissenting opinion by the Supreme Court did tell that it is a violation of Article 21, sir. But the Supreme Court also said that, as I mentioned, sir.
I'm not interested in what Supreme Court said. What is your take on that?
Sir, I think, sir, it is a violation of Article 21, sir.
So, do you think it is time that we give recognition to that?
Sir, I think evolution should happen, and sir, these things, sir, these are rooted in our traditional thinking and beliefs. I think, sir, this will slowly come to our society, not at once, I believe.
But if we talk about traditions, even sati was a tradition once.
Sir,
We had to do away with it.
sir, definitely.
So, if we work on similar lines, do you not think that it's the right time to just do away with it?
Sir,
Because if the question is of the rights of certain individuals.
Sir, sati also was a big issue, sir. It like we have in the same-sex marriage, sir. Mr. Honorable Raja Ram Mohan Roy started in 1818 against this movement, and sir, he was successful in 1829. Sir, it took time for him to, and also for the people to realize that it was a big issue. Sir, I think same can be done here also in the same-sex marriage, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You come from Unnao.
Ma'am.
Why Unnao is famous for?
Ma'am, it is famous for two things. Ma'am, firstly, the one district, one product that is there, that is Zari Zardoli. Ma'am, secondly, ma'am, we are also famous for being a land of revolutionaries and also poets.
Any freedom fighters from Unnao?
Ma'am, the revolutionary Mr. Chandrasekhar Azad is one such freedom fighter.
Any other?
Ma'am, there is one unique point that I realized while studying for the interviews. Ma'am, there is Mr. Subhash Chandra Bose, ma'am. Netaji, he also came to Unnao, ma'am. He put forth his forward block in Unnao, ma'am. That was also one unique point that I came to know about while studying.
Maulana Hasrat Mohani?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. He was a poet and a social reformer.
Okay. You were talking about LGBT.
Same.
Moral policing, what it is?
Ma'am, moral policing means that individual, according to their own morals, the morals which are individually right or wrong, to a personal aspect, they try to impose on the wider society.
Do you think in UP it is on a rise?
Yes, ma'am. I think
This particular phenomena?
I won't say it is on the rise, but it has been there. Ma'am, I think society has become more traditional. We are moving towards more modernism now from traditionalism. I think people are more open and inculcative of the various ideologies that people have and morals that one has. Sir.
Valentine's Day.
Ma'am.
Moral policing.
Ma'am, there were.
Do you support it?
Ma'am, moral policing I do not support, ma'am.
So you've played a lot of sports. How sports has helped you in your personality development? What all qualities you imbibe from sports?
Ma'am, the first thing that comes to me is, ma'am, the communication part. Ma'am, since I was heavily associated with football, ma'am, there is a lot of communication required, and we also need to know when we need to communicate, what actions we need to do during communication. Ma'am, that is one part. Ma'am, then the spirit of teamwork and teamsmanship. Ma'am, when you need to put yourself ahead and when you need to put yourself back from the situation. Ma'am, these are the things that I learned from sports.
Endurance?
Definitely, ma'am. Endurance and physical capabilities are also one thing, ma'am, that has improved to a larger extent.
Any particular quality that you've learned from sports that will be useful as an administrator?
Ma'am, I think leadership is one quality that will very much helpful. Ma'am, then secondly, as I said, ma'am, the amount of communication that one needs to have, ma'am, not just to the subordinates that are there, but to the wider public. I think that will be very helpful.
You've been engaged with cleanup drive.
Yes, ma'am.
Any problem with Unnao water?
Ma'am, big problem. Ma'am, in 2018, Central Groundwater Board did highlight this, that Unnao has the highest amount of fluoride in its groundwater.
And arsenic.
Arsenic also, ma'am.
What are the side effects of arsenic and fluorine?
Ma'am, we get brittle teeth and bones, firstly because of that. Ma'am, then there is also decrease of eyesight. Ma'am, the reports have highlighted that there is a certain decrease of highlight and amount of cancerous cells that are also being developed because of that. Ma'am, but it is not proven yet. There are significantly...
Any steps being taken by the local administration?
Ma'am, since it is a tier 2 and tier 3 city, ma'am, it has a lot of plots. Ma'am, I think the grey water that is being discharged, that was earlier being discharged into these plots, that has been significantly managed, and the drainage system has also been improving to a larger extent.
Okay, you want to work in the health sector.
Yes, ma'am.
Why, even today, a person prefers the private clinics over the government sector, especially in the tier 2 cities? Why is it so?
Ma'am, Firstly, it is because of the attitude that the workers there have. Ma'am,
The
firstly,
workers or the doctors?
Ma'am, both, ma'am, the doctors, the nurses, and the paramedics, the attitude towards patient is not good. Ma'am, that needs to be improved, the ethical sense of it. Ma'am, secondly, the services that are being provided in the private sector, ma'am, it is also pretty much high, and the infrastructural capabilities are also there in the private sector. Because of that, ma'am, I feel that the patients are shifting towards that.
Are you aware of the phenomena of government doctors doing private practice?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything wrong with that?
Ma'am, I personally think that it is ethically very wrong.
Personally and legally, is it wrong?
Ma'am, legally, I'm not sure of. I would have to look into it.
You proposed a ban on forever chemicals. Forever chemicals. What are forever chemicals?
Ma'am, I'm not exactly sure. But ma'am, the forever chemicals are those, ma'am, which tends to stay in the environment to a larger degree and larger amount of time. I think those are forever chemicals. Even in the body, ma'am, I think those are forever. In bio,
So
ma'am,
why pharma lobby is against it? Against the ban?
I would have to read on to it, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir.
Rishindra,
Sir.
you are from Unnao.
Sir.
In Unnao, recently, as in a couple of years back, there is a rape case which had happened over there.
Sir.
And quite influential person has, it is said that he has done those things. If you would have been the collector of that region, what do you think what you could have done? What differently you could have done to manage the situation? Because I think a very
Yes, sir.
gruesome thing has happened with that girl.
Yes, sir. So firstly, the safety and security of the victim is prima facie the most important thing. Ma'am, that has occurred. Ma'am, we need to ensure that the perpetrator of the act does not involve himself into altering the issues that are there, ma'am, by involving with the victims. So that is one such thing that I will try to do.
But what you could have done, the person was extremely influential.
Yes, sir. There was issues both in the post-mortem scenarios also where the person was influencing the doctors. Then in the since he was ruling MLA during that time, he also influenced to some extent to the police officers also. But sir, strict action and the rule of law should be proposed. There should be no fear of anything because in these scenarios, they should be convicted as soon as possible, and the judiciary should lay claim to the issues that are there.
But don't you think if the person is not hesitant in killing people, that to stream of people, he has killed so many people.
Sir.
Not he, but then
Yes, sir.
he also has the capacity to do something against you as well. So what would you do? Wouldn't you fear that aspect?
Sir, I think there might be a tinge of fear in that, but the service that we will be in, sir, I think that the most important scenario and the case should be to cater to the public, the needs of them, sir. It becomes prima facie more important than our personal fears, I think.
Unnao is also known for its industries,
Sir.
leather industry,
Sir.
isn't it? Tell me one thing. There are so many like branded shoes which are there in the market. The companies are there, Reebok and Nike and Adidas. I don't we find industry. India is also quite a flourished leather industry we have over here. But why don't we have renowned such shoemaking industries in India? What is lacking with us? We have lots of raw material. We have so much of human power, human resource with us. That to cheap human resource. So everything which is needed is there with us.
Yes, sir.
Why we are not excelling in that aspect?
Sir, big issue is that we are not able to globalize the brands that we are building. So that if we do that, I think then the local aspects of the tanneries and the leather products that we produce, sir, it will be globally.
Brand comes quite later. It quite comes at a very later stage. First is about quality. Do you think we are able to provide that quality of material? If I go into the market and I purchase any local shoe, rather I'll spend more and will purchase shoe of Nike or Reebok maybe because it is more durable, it will last long.
Sir,
Don't you think that is also one of the issues we have?
Sir, although the leathers that we produce, that is of high quality, sir, no doubt about it. But the end product, the product on the higher value chain, so that is definitely lacking in the quality aspect. So for that, I think we need to focus on our research and development in this particular scenario, so that we could manufacture different styles, different varieties. So as per football uses some of these leather shoes which have been highly modified. Sir, I think we need to work upon diversified aspect, not just on the things that we wear, but different aspect. Textile shoes also, textile manufacturing also. In that, we can also include that into the sporting, the leather aspect as well.
Your optional was geography, right?
Sir.
So tell me one thing. What, like we have different types of rainfall in India, orographic rainfall and the convectional rainfall, cyclonic rainfall and all. What type of rainfall does Bihar and UP get?
Sir, it is sir. I would say, sir, it will be orographic rainfall, sir, because the monsoon winds tend to deflect from Arakan Yuma that is there in Myanmar, and from there it enters from the eastern side. And
As in mountain ranges, Himalayan mountain ranges
Yes, sir.
are parallel to the flow of the wind in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, because Himalayas are also situated
Sir.
way northwest to southeast, and the winds are also coming from the same side, northeastern side, so they are parallel.
yes, sir.
Can we say orography is the reason for rainfall in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar?
Sir, orography is the reason why these winds come to Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. The Purvai that we have, sir, it is because of the orographic structure that is there.
The orographic structure of northeast you're talking about, maybe,
Sir.
the one. But
Yes, sir.
the wind's influence of orography cannot sustain that long.
Yes,
up
sir.
to all the way up to Uttar Pradesh. If he's somebody from West Bengal, if he's saying that way, or the person from Jharkhand maybe, then that's okay. But what about the person from Uttar Pradesh?
So we also, so we also have this winds coming from the western side also. So they and the Bay of Bengal branch, they tend to meet near New Delhi. So that collision or that interaction also tends to create the lower depressions that we have in the Uttar Pradesh and Bihar plains.
Okay. Somewhere or other, convectional activity is also there.
Okay, sir.
Heating effect is there because in North India is so warm.
Yes, sir.
Heating effect is there, and that also creates a lot of rainfall over there. Major rainfall in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar is because of that.
Okay, sir.
Convectional
So I'll
effect.
read about it more, sir.
Yeah. Do you think UP is a victim of a human disaster, a human resource disaster?
Sir, I would not like to put it that way, sir, because the human resource, the skills, the development, also the capability development of every single individual has been catered. But historically, sir, we see that because of the lack of skills that people have, and we also have out migration because for that very reason. So I think due to these, we did have a victimization tendency.
But then
now,
out migration, we can say it's a labor migration.
sir,
The work which they will perform, the work which they will do, that won't create that much money which will help in economy in a significant manner. See, the work which is being done by a highly qualified engineer or a highly qualified doctor, so in lesser work he'll be earning more money and then he'll be supporting our economy more. But the labor who is working so hard, much harder than the other people, but he is not earning enough money. The case with UP is that out migration is mostly in the form of labor.
sir.
So UP is not supporting in that way in Indian economy. Rather, it is taking more from Indian economy rather than supporting it. Do you feel that way?
Sir, I would like to say here that manufacturing sector is a very important sector that we have skipped historically. And so now we are increasingly focusing upon manufacturing. And sir, for that, I think labors are the sine qua non for the functioning of a well-functional manufacturing sector. So coming to the service sector, so yes, indeed, sir, it contributes a lot to the economy. And sir, but we are, sir, trying to shift our focus now towards the manufacturing sector by also sustaining the service sector that we have.
Okay. Tell me one thing, you like football.
Sir.
Why Indian football is more dominated by people from northeastern region?
Sir, there is two reasons to it. So the first is the culture that is there. Sir, we in northeastern India, it is increasingly said that football is the cricket. Football is the cricket. What we have cricket in the other parts of India, except from Kerala and Northeast, so there it is being treated as cricket is in entire India. Secondly, there is also support from family also as well, sir. I think these are the two major reasons.
If you talk about historical aspect, then we can say Kerala. In Kerala, if football has developed, then there is a historical aspect associated with it, maybe. But do you think the same goes with Northeast as well? The reason I feel the reason is more because the nature of living they have. They live in the mountainous areas.
Sir.
Their legs are by default very strong.
Yes, sir.
Being a geography student, you should know this, that their legs by default. The people who live in mountain, their legs are strong, and that's why it helps them in football by default. The people who live along the coastal areas, their hands are relatively much stronger and all. Have you read these things?
Yes, I did read about it. Sir, although genetics play a very important part in the sporting category, sir, we see in the world that people who are tall, stronger, broader, they are mostly from the West. And sir, we have a lean stature, as I would say. So that has a certain part. But sir, I do not believe that it has entirely to play over that. Sir, our own physical capabilities are sustained by how we think, and how we think should be sustained by how our exercises, our physical capabilities are tendered.
In general sense, in football, the people of lesser height becomes more successful than the person who is very, very high, more height maybe. Generally, not the thumb rule as such, but why is it so?
Sir, I would not like to put it that way. So there might be few individuals who are low in stature, in height. Sir, it might be because of the balance that they have while having the football on their feet. Sir, but secondly, I would say most of the players that we have currently, they have an average height of 6 or above 6. So that is one big reason for the development of genetics, sir, in this sector.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Rishendra,
Sir,
you are graduated from Ramjas College.
sir.
When your college was founded and by whom?
So it was founded in 1917, and sir, it was founded by Rai Kedarnath Singh, who was a philanthropist and an educationist.
Okay. What is the motto of your college?
So the motto is knowledge. Knowledge is superior. Knowledge is ever present. It is something like that. So exact, I'm not able to recall.
Okay. One of the very eminent personality of the Constituent Assembly was also the governing body of your college. Recall that name?
Sir, I am not able to exactly recall, but I have read about this that Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar was one such part of the governing council.
Okay. Recently, Supreme Court stayed the order given by the Patna High Court
Sir.
decision to annul marriage, citing the non-performance of Saptapari. You know Saptapari? Saat Fehraj. In Hindu marriage, there is Saat Fehraj.
Yes, sir.
Without that, the marriage cannot be completed, as per the Hindu Marriage Act also.
Yes, sir.
So, tell me something about the Hindu Marriage Act. What are the rituals required for the Hindu marriage? Without that rituals, Hindu marriage cannot be possible or not completed.
Sir, the exact.
Are you interested in marriage?
Sir, that is for the future to think. I am not right now thought about it, sir.
You are a graduate, you must be planned for yourself.
So currently, I'm planning for my career first. That's why I have not much read about marriage.
Okay. Tell me something about the differentiation between the Special Marriage Act and Hindu Marriage Act. What are the differentiation between that?
Sir, under the Special Marriage Act, every person, that is even in those in minority, so they can also be registered under this act. So whereas Hindu Marriage Act, it largely caters to Hindus, Buddhists and Jains. Sir, I think these are the three sectors which Hindu Marriage Act caters.
Okay. Which place you like most in the Uttar Pradesh?
Sir, I would like to say my own state, my own district.
Except that?
Except that, I would say the Terai regions that we have, sir, Lakhimpur Kheri and the Bahraich that is there, those regions I like a lot.
Suppose you will be posted there.
Yes, sir.
Then how can you reduce the man-animal conflict, human-animal conflict there?
So the first thing that I would try to do is create corridors, sir, because there are a lot of patches in those particular sector where tigers and also elephant corridors such as Terai Elephant Corridor, which has been recently created. So there are patches, but connectivity is lacking. So I think, sir, because of that, these animals tend to venture into the human sphere, sir. I think primarily I would like to create corridors so that connectivity should be created.
Okay. Sure.
Fine, Shivan.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. You were pretty well otherwise, but you talked about Vishwamitra. Okay.
Sir.
You talked about controlling all your senses.
Sir.
And then when I talked about Menka, you were not aware.
Sir.
Are you aware of that legend or not?
No, sir. I have not read about it, sir.
Vishwamitra was going to create his own heaven.
Sir.
Okay. And Indra sent a mesmerizing Apsara,
Yes, sir.
Menaka. And she was successful in inciting lust.
Yes, sir.
In whom? Vishwamitra,
Vishwamitra.
whose name you were taking. And then they had a baby
Yes, sir.
termed as Shakuntala,
Okay, sir.
who married Dushyant.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So it's a very interesting thing.
I will read, sir.
Either don't take the name of Vishwamitra, because on one side you are saying I have learned to control on my senses, and then you are taking the name of Vishwamitra, who could not control
What
his
is
senses. He was in meditation
Yes, sir.
and seeing the mesmerizing lady in front of him, he went after her.
Okay, sir.
So control missed.
Yes, sir.
So you should have known.
Contradictory.
If you will say, no, if you want to drive your interview, it's a great thing. By your name. If they ask you the question, what is the meaning of your name?
Sir.
We have a great opportunity to take them in
Yes,
this
sir.
direction.
Yes, sir.
But then should know.
Okay, sir.
Kalidas Abhigyan Shakuntalam
Yes, sir.
is on the love story of
Abhigyan and Shakuntala.
Shakuntala and Dushyant.
Okay, sir. I'll read, sir. I'll read about
and
it, sir.
Shakuntala is daughter of
I'm not sure, sir.
Vishwamitra and Menaka.
Menka.
In Rishi Kanwa's ashram, she was brought up.
I'll read more about it, sir.
Because if you are mentioning mythology, and at that age, they have an interest.
Yes, sir.
They immediately will fire the question. So you can make your interview very interesting by chance. If you get a chance that you said a sage plus Indra.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Okay, sir.
So
I'll
fine otherwise. And one more thing I will say. You talked about marriage rights for the same sex.
Sir.
Marriage is a social institution.
Sure.
It's fine. You respect the legal aspect, but you need to respect the parliamentarian aspect also.
Yes, sir.
What our Attorney General talked about in the court, that also you need to respect. Why you want to give a straight opinion on it when you are going in public services?
Okay, sir. I'll read more about
See,
it.
living together is different thing. Decriminalizing
Same-sex
anal
marriage.
insertion
Yes,
is
sir.
different thing.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Section 377 decriminalized, it's good.
Okay, sir.
That's right. Navteej Singh Johar case. Correct. But recognizing something as marriage, you have to include the society also.
Yes, sir. It is a sacrament for Hindu society.
Society, no, not Hindu, Muslim, any society.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So marriage is a social institution more. Living together is personal choice.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Having sex with anyone is personal choice.
Sure.
But trying to get it recognized as a marriage is a social one also.
Yes, sir.
So I respect your opinion. There's nothing in it. But when you are there, as you will be an officer later, so you have to put both the sides. Equality is one aspect. Right to life is one aspect. So I like it also.
Yes, sir.
But society is also one aspect. And if Parliament has said something, and it is a very recent thing,
Sir.
otherwise Supreme Court would have, if it is such a straight thing, don't you think Justice D.Y. Chandrachud would have given a straight away answer?
Yes,
I
sir.
would have given the verdict, yes, I recognize.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Okay,
It is something that has to be done considering the society also. That's why they said it is the parliament, means representatives of people are sitting. Society, other angles will be taken.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, it was fine. You defended Uttar Pradesh very well, the chief minister very well. Okay? So you have prepared for that.
Yes, sir.
Okay? That his attire also, saffron attire, you even defended Ram Temple, everything. Very good. There's nothing wrong in it, what you said.
Sir.
Sir.
Rishendra, overall you appear well polished,
Sir.
confident, as well as well read. However, a few places, like in one place you mentioned about the reason of the health sector in tier 2 cities, as ma'am asked, you directly blame the attitude of doctors and all.
Yes.
So that generalization could prove to be little harmful.
Sir, can that be a little bit at the end? First, the
You
key.
can never generalize that attitude of all doctors. It can be,
Some.
you can mention that there are infrastructure issues.
Okay, sir.
There is issue with respect to number of doctors available. And you can mention that the workload of the doctors in the tier 2 cities is so much because of the population
Yes,
that
sir.
it takes time.
Okay, sir.
But directly blaming would not be a good idea.
Okay, sir. Sorry.
And especially with respect to the things mentioned in your DAF, football, basketball, all those things, you should be aware about little details and also read about defense at least a little bit because you're paid in the SSB,
Yes, sir.
and a little bit about yoga also.
Okay, sir.
These are the major advice.
Thank you, sir.
Overall, you appear well read, and I think you should be scoring good marks.
Okay, sir.
Overall, good from my side. The same thing. attitude of doctors.
Yes, ma'am.
That is not the only problem.
Yes, ma'am.
Next, you also read something about the current news about the health, because you've mentioned it, pharmacist,
Yes, ma'am.
and you've also mentioned yourself that you are interested in the health
Health
sector.
sector, yes, ma'am.
So you need to be aware about the recent problems with the health sector, India and the world.
Okay, ma'am.
Rest all good.
Okay.
Same from my side. You have the good understanding. Little bit, I think you speak little fast,
Yes,
right?
sir.
So have a little control on that.
Okay, sir.
Rest is very good. You can score very well.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Fine, one thing, Vishen,
Sir.
in your DAP beta, you have not mentioned about NDA.
Sir,
Have you
NDA.
appeared for it?
Sir, roll numbers I was not able to recall and details have been missed. So that's why I did not write it. Sir, I have also given a lot of AFCATs, SSBs also. So, but I missed it. Sir,
उसमें
I was
जगह
told
भी नहीं
that.
होता प्लस डिटेल्स नहीं है तो फेयर है ना
Details कर सकते हैं।
हाँ जी हाँ जी कोई
फिर
issue
भी
नहीं।
कुछ बना लेना इस पे, अगर बाई चांस वो पूछ लें।
Yes, sir.
यहाँ हमने नहीं पूछा, but when you said, because I was going through it, so I said he has not mentioned NDA. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई डेलिबरेट लगे, तो मतलब एक छोटा सा आंसर आपके पास होना चाहिए, क्योंकि आप डेफ को चेंज कर नहीं सकते।
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, दो ही ऑप्शन है, या तो आप एनडीए में मैं पहले गया हूँ इस चीज को बोलो नहीं,
Yes, sir.
और अगर बोलते हो तो फिर कुछ जवाब रहना चाहिए, अगर उन्होंने नोटिस कर लिया तब के लिए।
Sir, I have one question regarding it.
Please, please.
Sir, in 2016, when I first gave these NDA interviews, I really wanted to get into services, defense services, serve the nation. Sir, if the interviewer there in UPSC asked me that why not defense services, sir, what can be the
ऐसा
reason?
बोर्ड में भी फंस सकते हो कि
Yes, sir.
मेजर जनरल का बोर्ड हो।
Yes, sir.
One is there I think.
Yes, yes, that's what I'm saying.
General Shukla
Maybe
जी।
there. तो एनडीए का नहीं बोले तो ज्यादा अच्छा है।
Yes, sir.
But
कई बार
CDS का
ऐसा
CDS का
तो है ही।
it is mentioned
एक ही
already.
बोल दो।
Okay, sir.
ठीक है ना?
Okay, sir. I'll try to restrict, sir.
हाँ, one thing, and उसमें आपके एनडीए में आपने एक और बात बोली थी, you said that you wanted to go home early.
Homesickness. Yes, sir. I did mention
ठीक
it.
है।
Yes, sir. That I would avoid, sir.
So you were not respecting the occasion.
Yes, sir.
आप अगर एसएसबी में हो और आपको घर जाना है, इसलिए आपने कुछ गड़बड़ कर दिया।
Yes, sir.
सोच के देखिए कि आप एग्जाम दे रहे हैं और आपको लगे यार बाहर में खाना खा लेता हूँ तो जल्दी पेपर छोड़ देता हूँ, चलो भाई लो वापस ले लो पेपर। Is it fair enough?
No, sir. Not fair at all.
Fine. So otherwise it was great, and definitely you will shave when you.
Yes, sir. Yes, I'll shave, sir.
All that thing. Perfect.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you.